Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be don't keep the door open, not even a crack. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So you know what I'm referring to most likely. It's about keeping the door open to the narcissist, or to narcissists, plural. You don't want to keep these doors open, not even a crack, because when the narcissist knows that they can get to you via text, email, send a voice message, or call you, then they know that you are not strong enough to go no contact, or you haven't figured them out yet, or that you are giving them more opportunities. You don't want to come to terms that they are a toxic person. Maybe you're even caught up in the trauma bond currently. The point being is, once you get the wisdom and once you apply the tools that are provided for you here on the channel and in the community, that's when you get your light bulb moment and you say, you know what, I've seen one too many verbal abuse, rage fit. I've seen one too many experience of triangulation. I've endured the smear campaign. I know what gaslighting is now, and I've identified that this person or these people, maybe even my own immediate family members, maybe it's your mom you're thinking about or your sister, but these people don't change. They're only getting worse, and they're deteriorating over time. All of these things and so many more are completely accurate. The narcissist, what they need is they need an energy source. They need a fuel source. And at one point, one period of time, that was you. That's why you are what I've talked about for years. You're the beautiful, bright, shining light. You are an energy source, but your energy is meant to be used by you, or by given to kind, loving, stable, healthy people. You should not be a fuel source, fueling the toxicity of the narcissistic abusive cycle. That's what you were doing, and you didn't even know it. You see, you weren't taught narcissism 101 in school. Maybe you were even born into the narcissistic family. You didn't know that there are toxic people out there, people that don't have your best interest at heart, people that are envious of you and jealous of you. Some people actually want to be you. Then there are other people who are trying to drive wedges between you and anything that matters to you. There are also people, and here's a new one, that give out misinformation. Example, they know what the right thing to tell you is, but they will tell you the completely opposite thing. Example would be, let's say you are allergic to mango, and yes, I am allergic to mango. That's a story for a whole different day. But if you're allergic to mango and then someone says, oh, just take this, there's no mango in it, but they know there is mango in it, well, they're sabotaging you. Prime example right there. Or if they know the directions on how to get to the hospital or the mall or whatever it is, and they know that you have to take a right, but they tell you to take a left. Well, are they doing that on purpose? Probably. You see, if it was their life that was in jeopardy, or they really needed to get someplace, they would make sure, and they probably would be screaming at you via verbal abuse in the car, how to get there. Drive faster, drive slower, take the left, take the right. What are you doing? I can't concentrate. They're trying to really disrupt your energy. But that's if it matters to them. If you flip it and it matters to you, sometimes they'll still do the same thing, but at times they will give you the wrong directions, or they'll act like they didn't hear you. In other words, selective memory. Selective memory is a whole different video I should create. What it is the narcissist listens to your words. They're always paying attention to you, but they address only what they want to. However, everything that you've shared with them from the past, it's filed away in their tiny little pea brain, so they can come out and use it or weaponize it against you at a later date. Example, on Christmas 13 years ago, when you forgot to shovel the one square of the patio or the sidewalk, but you shoveled everything else. Well, why did you forget that one square? Well, I don't know. Maybe I was tired. It didn't affect anybody. Nobody used the sidewalk to get to the Christmas dinner, but they will remember that, and they'll throw you under the bus for it, or try to. But that's why I'm sharing. There are people out there who do not have your best interest at heart, and the narcissist is certainly at the top of that list. This is why you must not keep the door open. This is why you must close all avenues of communication with the narcissist, if not now, when. This is why in virtually every video I create, I suggest to go no contact, to block these people, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. Now, I understand if you can't do that right now. Maybe you're still tethered to the narcissist. Maybe it's your senior year in high school or college and you're waiting to graduate so you can get as far away from them as possible, but they're footing the bill for your education, so you need to stay there. Or maybe you're waiting till you get that job. Who knows what you're waiting for, but the point being is, once you've identified that the narcissist is in your proximity, whether it's your mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, coworker, neighbor, colleague, person in community and or friend group or a hobby group that you were a part of, or that these people, the toxic people, don't have your best interest at heart, that's 1 minute too long. You see, in the past, you didn't know what you were up against. Now you're getting light bulb moments. Now you're understanding that you are the priority, that you come first, second, and third. And there's no room in your life for the narcissist. So when you go no contact with these people, let's say you have blocked them everywhere possible, maybe you've even relocated. Many of us have had to relocate halfway around the world. But even if you've done that, and let's say that you join a social media app, I'm not going to mention one, but say you're on social media, you create a new account. Well, could the narcissist still find you? Yes, they could. And are they looking for you? I'm not saying they are or aren't. What I will say is many times people that I have one-on-one sessions with will say, wow, Andrew, a week, a month, a year, a decade has gone by, and can you believe the narcissist tried to hoover me after any of those periods of time? Yes, I can. Because the narcissist believed, past tense, that they owned you. They believed that you wouldn't break the trauma bond. They believed that you wouldn't heal. And they believed that you would believe in the mask. And you healed, or you are healing. You're striving towards reaching that pinnacle of indifference, that mountaintop of indifference, where you no longer care about the narcissist or any people from that period of time, because you now understand how valuable your time is, how precious your empathy is, how important your health is, and all of your assets and all of your resources have returned, and they've returned in time once you went no contact with the narcissist, because that's when your health does return. That's when your clarity returns. That's when your friend groups get rebuilt. That's when your energy returns. And that's when you understand that the further you get away from the narcissistic relationship, the better off you will be. And that is one of the key parts for people when the relationship has ended recently to wrap their head around, because number one, they're in a trauma bond most likely, but number two, they believe that the one person that they loved, or maybe they still do, had their best interest at heart, and they never did. They don't now, and they never will. Difficult pill to swallow, but it's reality. You see, the narcissist is your enemy. They are not your friend. The narcissist is a coward and a bully. They are not someone there to build you up. The narcissist will be unavailable when you need them the most, yet expect you to drop everything in a moment's notice whenever they need something. That is why when you were in the relationship with them, you were the walking apology. What the walking apology means is you would just walk around and you would clean up the house and be the errand person and do everything you possibly could. And if the narcissist threw a rage fit or blamed you for their poor behavior, you would apologize for it. Why would you do that? Because you wanted to keep the peace. You didn't want to experience any more toxicity, so many times you would apologize for things that you didn't do or things that you had no idea that they had done, but you wanted to get communication open up again, so you would apologize for things. We don't do that any longer. Another thing that you were the unpaid helper. What that means is you were doing things for the narcissist to the detriment of yourself. Example, you were probably cooking, cleaning, paying bills, dropping people off, picking people up, filling up gas tanks, planning vacations, paying for vacations, planning for barbecues, buying clothes, doing Amazon shopping, and then being there when the narcissist would open the front door with your smile on your face, even though you were not in a good mood. But you had to be in a good mood for them because you were testing the temperature of them as they were testing the temperature of you, because you never knew who was going to open the front door. Would it be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? But that's for a whole separate video. All of these ideas I'm mentioning with you, they culminate in the narcissistic abusive cycle. You were in it. My hope is you're out of it and you're healing and you're learning, you're growing, you're becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered. And you understand now that leaving the door open, even a crack, that narcissist or any narcissist will kick it wide open if they can, because all it takes is for you to cross the mind of the narcissist. Example, let's say they slithered onto the new supply, but the new supply didn't turn out to be who they wanted them to be. In other words, they didn't meet up to their expectations. So now they had their target or sight set back on you. This is a hypothetical example, and my hope is it did not happen to you and that it doesn't happen to you and that you've gone no contact. But using this example, well, then someone mentioned your name and the narcissist is like, oh, I remember that person. They were such a kind, loving, stable, healthy person. They paid my way through life for a period of time. They elevated me. They were a sounding board for me and all the things that Andrew talks about on the channel. What will I do? Oh, I'll see and I'll test them and see if they've blocked me everywhere. And if they haven't, I'll send a phantom message. Maybe it will be something like this. Hi, or are you okay? Or missing you, or thinking of you. Or maybe they will send a package to you or email you or something the day before your birthday or a holiday or a special occasion or an anniversary or something, or the children's birthday, because they are thinking of you. And again, this is a hypothetical example, and I hope it didn't happen. and it doesn't happen. But when you cross the mind of the narcissist in their tiny little brain, they say, oh yeah, I can get that one back again. Specifically if you haven't gone no contact and blocked them. Because if you leave any communication avenue open with the narcissist and they know that, they will kick that door wide open. Maybe not even to try to get you back into the relationship, maybe just to keep you stuck and going backwards again, thinking of the good times, pining for them, wondering if they changed, wondering if they've seen a therapist, wondering if they've healed, wondering if they missed you, wondering if they really did love you, etc. You see, it doesn't matter what is in the mind of the narcissist post-narcissistic relationship. Once you've healed, you understand that this was a maze. You were captured and trapped in the narcissistic fog. And that maze that you were in, you didn't know how to get out of it. And you certainly didn't know how you got in it because you weren't taught this in school. But what happened was the narcissist, when they first saw you or met you, they love bombed you most likely, and they spent a lot of energy on you to get you trapped in that narcissistic fog. And then they placed you in that zombie-like trance-like state. And then they began to extract all of your resources from you and devalue you. And then the relationship ended however it ended. And then that's when you had to heal. But before you healed, you had to find that needle in a haystack. You had to search on YouTube or Google or somewhere, spouse won't talk to me, or rage fits, or triangulation, whatever you would type in, and then boom, 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 you would get all this information. At least that's what you did. Many people don't get the wisdom. Many people aren't strong enough to look for the wisdom. Many people don't want to find the wisdom, but that's not you. You were curious. You needed the craving, you needed the itch to be scratched on what had happened to you when you were in that relationship, and that's why you're here in the community. And then you got that light bulb moment, and when you figured out it was a narcissistic or a toxic relationship, then you probably sat down and put your hands on your forehead and said, you have to be kidding me. What was this? How come I didn't know about it? Why didn't anyone tell me? How did I stay in it so long? This is why it hurts so badly. This is why I need to heal from this relationship. All those are yeses, because the narcissist knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing in relationships before they met you. They knew what they were going to do when they met you and they were in a relationship with you, and they know what they're doing with whomever they're with right now if they're still walking the planet. The narcissist also knows that each and every one of their relationships is temporary. It has an expiration date, and it's just a matter of if the person, once that relationship ends, which is not the narcissist, if they go no contact and block the narcissist, then it almost assures them of being insulated and protected. If they don't, they at times will have to go through a Hoover, or maybe 2 or 3 Hoovers to get the message. And what is a Hoover for the people on the channel that this perhaps is your first video consuming? A Hoover is when the narcissist is trying to suck you back into the relationship. They're trying to draw you back into the relationship, or they're testing the waters to see if you've healed, to see if you've seen behind the mask, and to see if you're strong enough to tell the narcissist no. And remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. When you say no to the narcissist, it's putting up a boundary. When you block the narcissist, it's sending a clear, succinct message to them that you want nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with them. That is the path. That is how your energy returns. That is when your clarity returns. That's when your focus returns. And that's when you say to yourself, oh my goodness, I had to do so many things when I was in that relationship. I had to do even more to heal, but here I am. And I'm either at the pinnacle of indifference or I'm approaching it. But either way, my life is narcissistic, relationship free. I have now slowed my life down. I am now in the cocoon of boundaries. I have now taken stock of all my family members, my friends, my colleagues, my coworkers, of teachers, of acquaintances, of people in the past in grade school, high school, college, my neighbors, my coworkers, etc. And when you identify who each and every person is, because now you can see the world the way it is, not the way you were seeing the world in the past, because the narcissistic relationship has changed you. It has transformed you for the better once you've healed, into an elevation, into a level that you never thought was possible, which is what I call the third version of you. This is the strongest, most galvanized version of you known to humankind. And not everybody gets there, but you will get there if you take the tools that are provided for you in the community and on the channel, and you really focus on yourself, and you begin to slow your life down in that cocoon of boundaries, and you practice radical acceptance. You become stoic, calm, centered. You become strengthened, committed, resilient, and focused on healing. Then you will heal. And again, remember, the healing path is not linear. It takes time. It takes a lot of time, but in your time you will heal. And nobody can tell you when you will heal, not one person on the planet, not even yourself. So if anyone ever tells you that they know when you will heal, you can't listen to that. That's not true. The healing path is a direct correlation between how much work you place into yourself and how much time and energy you have and how much processing you process of the relationship. It's directly contingent upon you. Remember, no one's going to come knock on your door and say, I'm here to save you. Nobody can do the work for you. No one can do the heavy lifting for you. You can see a therapist, you can journal, you can meditate, you can read, you can watch videos. You're going to have to heal childhood wounds, I can assure you that. But all the things you're going to have to do, you will have to do. And people can guide you, people can give you their wisdom and their experience, specifically if they've gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle. And those people and their experiences, and if they're trying to help you out, and my hope is they are, those are wise people. Now again, there's a big difference between people going through the narcissistic abusive cycle, healing, getting the wisdom and applying it, and people offering ideas when perhaps they haven't gone through the cycle. All these things I'm mentioning with you, don't leave the door open, not even a crack. You must seal that door, or all of the doors that were once open to the narcissistic person. You need to seal them airtight. You need to super glue those doors with Gorilla Glue, that famous glue, as closed and as tight as possible. They need to be as tight as you can get them. They need to be as tight as the mask was super glued onto the narcissist's face when you were in that relationship with them. Because when you go no contact and you block them and you seal all the avenues of communication and you do not let them know who you are with, what you're doing, what your hair color is, what country you're in, what new language you're working on, if you've fallen in love again, if you're taking a class, teaching a class, reading a book, writing a book, whatever you're doing, you want them to know nothing about you. Because remember, when you were in that relationship, you overshared. You were a people pleaser. You didn't have boundaries. You couldn't say no. You were giving to a fault. You were putting the narcissist high up on the pedestal to the detriment of yourself. And we know where that got us. It did not get us anywhere positive. What it did is it elevated the narcissist. The narcissist stole our identity, our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, our goals. They stole everything from us, our money, our time, our relationships, our love, our empathy, our belief in humanity to a degree until we healed. They stole everything from us, and then they slithered away onto the new supply. That's why we don't give the narcissist or any toxic person any time of day these days. That's why we go no contact, etc. That's why we don't overshare. That's why we watch people's actions if they match up with their words. That's why maybe we give people a 1-strike rule, maybe a 2-strike rule. In the old days, remember, it used to be 3 strikes. 3 strikes and you're out. Well, that's long changed now. I implemented the 2-strike rule a couple of years ago, and honestly, I'm getting closer to the 1-strike rule, as many of you are in the community. The point is you need to conserve your energy, conserve your time, conserve your money, conserve everything about you. Get your cup full. And then if you want to pay it forward and help people, you help the loved and trusted ones around you. You've become the educated empath. You don't just drop what you're doing because a complete stranger asks you to do something. That's what we used to do in the past. What we do now is we insulate and protect ourselves. And if we feel like contributing, we do it. If we don't and we can't, we say no. And we don't get guilted into helping people. We don't get blamed because we didn't attend an event or something. We do what we want, when we want, with whom we want, if we want. Because when we were in that narcissistic relationship, we were doing whatever the narcissist wanted. And if we didn't, there was a big price tag to pay. But now that we're out and we've healed, or we are well on the healing path, we've slowed everything down. And we do what we need to do, when we need to do it, and if we want to do it. So example, if you want to sleep in tomorrow morning till 11 o'clock a.m., do it. If you want to stay up tonight till 1 o'clock in the morning, do it. If you want to call in sick tomorrow because you don't feel like going to work and you have a couple vacation days, go for it. Have a me day. Slow your life down, sleep in late, recharge your battery. If you want to go visit a friend, go do it. You can do whatever you want to do, but you're doing it because you want to do it. You're not doing it because you're being guilted into do it or being blackmailed into doing it. When I say blackmailed, what I mean there is if you didn't do what the narcissist wanted you to do when you were in that relationship, there would be a price tag to pay. You'd be given the silent treatment. You'd be gaslit, you'd be verbally abused, you'd be blame shifted, triangulated. They would pull out anything they wanted to in their arsenal of weapons of tools. But the whole point, before I close the video, is don't leave the door open. Play this part of the video, play it a few times. Do not leave the door open. If you've done everything you can to remove yourself from the narcissistic relationship, and let's say blocking is the last step, what are you waiting for? Do it. Don't think about hurting their feelings. Think about saving your life. Don't think about, well, they're not that bad of a person. Think about your energy, that it should be for you. Don't think about what you were doing in the past to help that person out. Think about what you could be doing presently and in the future to helping you out. This is the path. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. God bless you all. I love you. Remember, you are not alone. Do not leave the door open, not even a crack. If the narcissist can sense, or they know that you've opened up a communication avenue, or one hasn't been battened down and sealed airtight, they will eventually look to find a way to creep their way back into your life if you've crossed their mind. Now, that's a big if, and my hope is the narcissist never, ever, ever has access to you. But what I'm sharing is why take a chance. Why not do the right thing, block them everywhere, or delete certain apps, whatever you were on, remove yourself, make your identity, make your footprint smaller, and protect yourself. And don't give that creature, i.e. the dark energy force, the narcissist, an opportunity to slither their way back into your life. Understand the message. Everyone, that's the video. I love you all. God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed it. Play the video, play it a few times, and pay it forward to somebody who could use it. I love you. God bless you. Bye.